Are you thinking of getting chickens? Maybe you want to be self-reliant. Maybe you want pets with benefits. Or maybe it's the egg shortage that's driving your decision. Whatever the reason, you certainly want to have as much information so you can make the best decision for yourself and to give you a better chance of success. Hey y'all, I'm Renee, and welcome to Tater Town. Okay, I'm making this video now because I know that chicken ownership has become increasingly popular. First during COVID and now with bird flu. Eggs are more expensive and people are starting to hoard the egg supply. I guess it's the new toilet paper. But even if that's not your reason, there's still some things you should think about before making this investment because it is an investment. Chickens are cheap. You're looking at spending maybe $5 per chick. Less if you buy hatching eggs and more if you buy hens that are old enough to lay already. Unless you buy some rare heritage breeds, but they aren't cheap to maintain. And truthfully, your eggs may end up costing more than you could buy in the store or from a local farmer. As long as you're okay with that and the work that goes into maintaining your flock, I say you should definitely do it because I truly believe the pros far outweigh the cons. If you find my videos interesting and helpful, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for future video notifications. It really does mean a lot to me and it helps me to keep providing you with videos that will help you do those things you never thought you could. Well, let's get back into the video. First, you need to understand that these are not set and forget animals. You will need to tend to them, which I guess makes you a chicken tender. Yeah, I know, it was not funny. But duh, they're living creatures that need food, water, mental stimulation, and medical care. Plus, if you have birds like mine, they love getting human attention, probably because they know I usually come bearing gifts of food, but they really do seek out my attention when I'm around. And most of them will sit on my lap and bury themselves into me while I pet them. The fact is, you don't have to treat them like pets at all, but you really should give them a life that is better than they would have at a factory farm. Because that is such a sad existence for these wonderful creatures who have personalities of their own, and in my humble opinion, deserve much more than the industrial agriculture model gives them. Come on, you want to come up? After all, they are providing us with food. And the better we take care of them, the happier and healthier they will be, and the better the quality of food they produce for us, resulting in us being happier and healthier. It really is a win-win. So what are the things that you should really know about having chickens before you get into it? First, you really need to have more than 2 chickens. Why? Chickens are flock animals. They need to have other chickens around. Yes, there are exceptions, especially if it's a house chicken. Yes, there are those that keep chickens as pets in their homes, and I've been known to do that, especially when taking care of one that's sick, but they need friends, especially if you don't plan on spending every minute of every day keeping your bird entertained. So why not just 2? Well, what happens if one dies? Now you're left with only one and you can't just go get another and put them together. Do you want to come up, buddy? If you get a new adult chicken, you should quarantine the new bird for preferably 30 days before introducing her to your other chicken. And even then, it can take some time for the integration to go smoothly. Maybe another 2 weeks or more before they accept each other. And if you get baby chicks instead of another adult, well, that's another 3 months before the baby can be introduced to your chicken. So it's just best to start with more, preferably no less than 4. And you'll need to provide them with space. You don't need a lot of land. Shoot, you don't even have to be in the country or the suburbs. You can do it in the city, assuming of course that your individual laws allow for it. If you're tight on space, remember, you can always go up instead of out, meaning build them a high-rise instead of a ranch. But whatever you give them will be way better than their lives living in a factory farm setting. If you can build your own coop and run, you'll save a ton of money. Pre-built ones can cost you hundreds, if not thousands. Next, you need to decide if you want to free range or keep them in a run. But honestly, with the risk of bird flu right now, you really need to plan for keeping them away from wild birds. You won't want them to come in contact with the wild birds themselves or the poop. So you'll want to add biosecurity to your list of things you'll need. And along those lines, you'll need to make sure you have them in an area that effectively keeps predators out. And that means using hardware cloth, not chicken wire. You'll hear that a lot in every video you watch or on anything you read about protecting chickens. Chicken wire is great for protecting your garden from being eaten by deer or other things, and it will keep chickens in, but it will not keep out the things that want to kill and eat your chickens. Next, if you buy chicks, don't expect to get your first eggs for about 4 to 6 months, depending on the breed. And some slow down their egg laying or completely stop once the daylight hours start to decrease. So you'll have to plan accordingly. Of course, if you buy laying pullets, you can get eggs almost immediately, but those birds will cost more. And you'll have to integrate them if you get more than one and they don't come from the same breeder. You'll need to determine what breeds you want. Do you want hens that lay a lot of eggs all year round? Do you want heritage or rare breeds? And of course, there are smaller breeds of birds which are great for smaller coops, but they tend not to lay eggs as frequently as standard breeds, and they're also smaller, so keep that in mind. You'll also want to make sure to purchase breeds that will suit your environment. Do you get frigid winters, or is it really hot and humid in the summer, or is it mild all year round? Some breeds do well in some environments, but not others. Just remember that if you buy a breed that is not well suited for your geographic location, you're going to need to prepare an environment for them that can keep them healthy all year round. Another thing to think about, check into your local regulations. Are you allowed to have chickens? Is there a limit to the number you can have? And of course, do you want a rooster? If so, do the laws where you are allow for that? Because trust me, if you're hatching eggs, the chance of each egg being a rooster is 50-50. And if you're buying chicks, and even if you buy them sexed, you may get one that slips past because sexing is not 100%. So make sure you're ready for that. Another important factor is medical care. There are things you can easily do yourself to keep them healthy, and some things you'll need to learn to do if they get sick, like removing a sick bird from the flock to make sure things don't spread if they haven't already. And unlike most companion animals, not all veterinarians have the expertise to deal with chickens. So it's a good idea to see if your nearby vets treat birds. And if not, you need to find one that does. And if you can't find one nearby, you'll definitely want to learn all you can so you're best able to handle an issue when it comes up. You guys are not paying any attention to me today. Hi, Sarah. You want to come up? Come on. This guy's been wanting to come up the whole time I'm making this video. Hi, Snina. Finally, make sure you have the time to commit to your chickens. It's really no different than having a dog or cat. Okay, it's definitely more of a time commitment than a cat, but you get what I mean. And if you're looking for in-demand breeds, make sure you order them far in advance. A lot of people order in October and November for the following spring or summer, since hatcheries need to plan their egg hatching well in advance. Now, there's a lot more to rearing chickens, but what I've gone over in this video should give you a better idea of whether or not you should get chickens in the first place. I can't recommend getting them if you're only looking for cheap eggs and you don't have the time and commitment to caring for them. In this case, you'd be better off finding someone locally who raises chickens that will sell eggs to you. But I really do believe that if you have the time, the patience, and the space, go for it. They are amazing animals that will give you joy and affection and, of course, food. Well, not this one because he's a rooster. What more could you want? If you've already decided to get chickens, be sure to check out my other videos on chicken care and hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for my upcoming video on everything you need to be prepared if you're getting your first flock in the next couple of months. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like to share. And thanks for joining me and Snina here on Tater Town. Hey, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. You're a good boy. boy. I gotta put you down, buddy. Oh, you're sure a good boy. You're a good mama's boy.